What is going on YouTube? It's the Vulgar here and hope you're having a fantastic day as usual. In today's video we're going way back to 2006, right? And I mean way back to the year 2006. I've already said it twice. And the game we're going to look about today is none other than Superman Returns. A game so bad it might just be kryptonite in disc form. Okay, but still not funny. So in this video, let's break down exactly what went wrong with this failed superhero adventure game. Now, let me start off by saying this: Superman Returns had potential. Tying into the movie of the same name, it aimed to give players, or us as players, the experience of being the Man of Steel in an open world metropolis. Now, the concept was solid, right? I mean, who doesn't want to fly as Superman, right? However, execution is everything, and that's when things started to fall apart in the game. Now, first up, let's talk about the game's biggest flaw, which is its complete lack of direction. Now, unlike most open world games that give you a clear set of missions and goals, this game just didn't give us that. I mean, like, you're basically flying left to fly around aimlessly waiting for something to happen. It's like they forgot to include the actual game part of the video game. For example, I'm just flying around Metropolis with absolutely nothing to do except I'm waiting for something to happen. No waypoints, no side missions, nothing. I'm just waiting for something to happen. It's as if the developers thought, hey, flying is cool, right? Well, that's not for the game. Am I right? Now, the good thing about this, right? The good thing is that the idea of dynamic events happening on the city was interesting because some missions were actually pretty cool, like the one from Metallo where I actually get to fight him as the actual boss level, like his humongous level. But the bad thing is that these events were too infrequent and repetitive, leading to strong senses of boredom because I would usually get bored of waiting for something to happen, of just doing nothing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the combat system. Now, when you do finally find some action, you're met with arguably the worst combat system in the superhero game industry. In superhero game history, I mean, the controls are clunky, the hitboxes are questionable at best, and there's zero sense of impact when you land a punch. And even though there is some sense of you punching a bad guy, but I don't feel that, that action. That's the reason why I hate this game, because the poor combat mechanics. Now, Superman's combat ability should be the highlight of indie game featuring the character, right? Unfortunately, in Superman, fighting felt chunky and unsatisfying, just like I said. Now, the good thing about this is that the game attempted to showcase Superman's various powers like heat vision, freeze breath, and air breath. And the one thing I like about the combat system is that whenever you're using heat vision, I can say heat vision times 10. Now, also the bad thing about this thing is that the execution was poor, with awkward controls and a lack of impact in fights. Just like I said, they did not have that feeling of when you punch a bad guy, you want to do it again, you want to do it again, you want to do it again. But this game didn't even try to implement that. But if DC had enough time to do that, I think this game would probably be good at some point. But since they didn't do that, yeah. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the graphical and performance issues, right? Now, this really itched me in the most. This is the issue that irritated me the most in this game. Even if you could overlook the gameplay issues, the technical problems are harder to ignore. The game runs at an abysmal frame rate, often dropping to single digits during action scenes. It's like watching a slideshow of Superman instead of playing a game, right? And don't even get me started on the textures and character models, right? This was released for the Xbox 360, but it looks like a late PS2 version at best. Now, the good thing about this part is that some of the cityscapes could look impressive from a distance. I mean, if you actually sit on the tallest building in the game and you actually overlook the city, that's pretty darn good. But the bad thing is that the frame rate drops, pop in, and low resolution textures were common, breaking immersion. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the health system. In an interesting twist, Superman doesn't have a health bar. Instead, the city of Metropolis does. While creative, this led to its own set of problems. The good thing about this is that it's an unique idea that fits Superman's role as a protector, because if Metropolis takes damage, then it would lead to deduction of health. But the bad thing is that it removed any sense of personal danger from Superman, making the game feel too easy and disconnected. So what I'm saying here is that instead of giving Metropolis a health bar, they should have also given us a health bar. And I'm not talking about the bar where if you run out of energy, that's it. I mean an actual health bar. Not the one where you have to go to the sun and recharge it. I mean an actual health bar, right? To see how many takes were here, like if we die, then this is it, last checkpoint. If they also implemented that, I think the game would have been really enjoyable, if I may say. Now, before I go into the last part of the video, if you guys made it this far, please leave me a like and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this so that you can be notified whenever I post videos just like this one. Lastly, let's talk about Metropolis itself. In theory, an open world Superman game sounds amazing, but in practice, Superman Returns gave us a lifeless, empty city with nothing interesting to do. It's just cars moving, just people moving. Like if they implemented a feature, whereas if you're on the ground, you can actually interact with those characters. That would have given our open world design life. Like if I was a Superman, have to interact with other people in the game, I would have enjoyed that game more. But since I didn't do that, I didn't enjoy this much because the streets are practically deserted. Buildings are just bland, non-interactive boxes, and there's no sense of a living or a breathing city. It's less of the city of tomorrow and more like the city that everybody abandoned. Now, in the end, this game had ambition, but it fell short in almost every aspect of its execution. From its unfocused gameplay, it served as a cautionary tale in game development. However, it's also a reminder of how challenging it can be to create a compiling Superman game, or maybe any hero game for that matter. I can say this: when I bought this game for the first time, I think I was like in my beginning of my high school years. I enjoyed this game, but a few years later, I want to talk about how good this game is, but personally I want to talk about how good and bad this game really is, because people didn't enjoy this game as much. Because for me, personally, I enjoyed it, but this game didn't really deliver what I wanted. Because just playing any random game, right? If it's fun, it's fun. Hey, you can't blame me. But anyway, guys, that's it to do for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and also make sure to click that bell so that you can get notified when I post a video. And as always, stay frosty.